the vast majority of the time, we are anxious for nothing. The majority of the time, that which we fear never really happens. That's category 1. Category 2, it does happen, but it's not as bad as we thought it was. Category 3, it does happen, and it's as bad or even worse than we thought it was, but our God is still near, and he is still with us, and he is still for us, and he is still working in us, and he helps us through those low times in every single way. And then one day, years later, you realize there's no storm that he won't bring me through. There's no obstacle that he won't help me overcome. And there is no enemy that my God will not help me defeat. Why? Because the Lord is my breath.
When you've been through enough trauma, everything feels like pain. And now here's what you've been doing. You've been pushing good people away. Because when they get close to you, it reveals that spot in you that was taught to never trust again. And so you find yourself fighting against the people that God is sending to set you free. And you remain in chains because you are projecting the pain of a past experience in a present opportunity. What the cross does is to give me a new expectation of the goodness of God, because I have already seen and witnessed and known the redemption of every sin, every trace of shame. And now, this is the good news about the gospel of Jesus Christ. I don't interpret my situation through my feelings. Because if I do, I will tear my robes. I'm overwhelmed. I'm like this king. I'm afraid. I'm looking at this and I'm afraid that you're going to see me for who I am. I'm afraid that you're going to reject me if you get too close. I'm afraid if I show you my butt. I'm afraid if I show you my weakness. I'm afraid that if I receive help from you, it's going to make me indebted to you. So rather than take this armor off, I'd rather get a different color, and I'd rather get a different fit, and I'd rather get offended than be healed. You cannot take hold of what's new while you have a death grip on what's old. And God is saying you have gone as far as you can go holding on to what you used to be. This requires that the excuses that have become so embedded in your life have to be left behind at the spot of your transformation, because you're in transition now. God is giving birth to a new thing in your life. It is going to require letting go of old habits. Look, man, if you are a husband now, you can't be single in your mindset anymore. You've got to consider a new responsibility. What happens a lot of times is we go into new situations holding on to old habits. You can't have a husband situation and have bachelor habits. Before long, it will tear you apart trying to hold on to two things. So I hear God saying today, let it go. It is not serving you in this season anymore. Why would you hold on to something that taught you how to beg, that taught you how to blame? It can't heal you anymore. Something greater is here. There is a name that is greater than any other name, higher than any other name, stronger than any other name.
Something happens in the struggle when our mind tells us it's never going to work out. But in our heart, we know what God promised is on the way. Our mind says, you're wasting your time. There's no use even believing anymore. But you just keep on keeping on, trusting God, thanking Him that it's on the way. That's sustaining faith. Now, don't think that everything is going to be easy. Don't expect every person to be for you. Just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it's not going to happen. The victory is on the other side of the opposition. It takes staying power, a made-up mind, someone that's not moved by the circumstances.
God never meant for you to hold on to burdens, hurts, betrayals, or things out of your control. Some things you got to say, my season of carrying this is over. I've got to let it go. I can't carry this anymore. The weight of it is too great. You keep a baby in the womb a certain season, you give it life. You keep it in too long, you can destroy it. And some of you have kept things inside of you that have now turned around and started destroying you. And they're eating away at your quality of life on a daily basis. And God today is saying, let it go. Give it to me.